Washington Redskins, Cleveland Indians. Just two team nicknames and mascots that are currently under fire. But imagine rooting for these high schools, the Orofino, Idaho Maniacs, or the Freeburg, Illinois Midgets, the Wapaton, North Dakota Wops, who were in existence into the 1970s, or even the Pekin, Illinois Chinks, who were around until 1980. Would you be offended?
We looked at all kinds of nicknames, but the offensive ones, the ones that seem to get people's ire up the most are the Native American names, and we're talking Warriors, Redskins, Indians, Tribe. Anything that has a Native American connotation seemed to be the one that got people most upset. You can make the argument that, say, Braves or even Indians, you're appealing to the nobility of the Native American culture and the warrior spirit. But when you're talking about Redskins, that strikes a lot of people as just being racist.
It is that unifying symbol which every high school, college, and pro team in America calls its own. Sometimes, instead of creating harmony, it stirs controversy. With that in mind, we decided to travel the country to talk with people about what's in a name. 2.5 hours east of Los Angeles and south of Palm Springs, California, sits the Coachella Valley. It's an area marked by date trees and open spaces and is largely populated by Hispanic families. It's also home to the Coachella Valley High School Arabs, a nickname that has lasted for more than 90 years and one that came under scrutiny late last year.
So the ADC is the Arab American Anti-Defamation Committee. The idea that this mascot is offensive to them is not so far-fetched.
They were unhappy with the depiction of the mascot, and they felt it was appalling to them, and they felt like it was stereotyping Arab culture and Arab people. And that's why I called them right away, because that was never the intent from the community, and it's definitely not something that my board or I would not be sensitive to and be ready to resolve.
Coachella Valley High was nicknamed the Arabs because of its connection to the Middle East through its vibrant date industry. These are the logos through the years here at Coachella Valley High School. The 30s, the 50s, they updated again in the 50s, and this went from the 80s to the present. So you do see, I mean, you see the hook nose on both of these. You see the fez, which was taken away.
The last thing we want to do is hurt somebody's feelings because we did something that we shouldn't have done.
Not everyone agrees.
It's just a mascot, you know, like, it's just what shows us, you know, like, oh, we want to be angry, strong, you know, we're powerful. That's all it is.
I disagree with, with the whole issue. I don't see why they're getting offended by our mascot.
There's a Facebook page, Save the Coachella Valley High School Arab Mascot, that has almost 3,000 members. 90+% of them feel the same way that I do, that we should not give in to pressure from Washington to resurface the gym floor, which is a big mascot, repaint most of the school, thousands of dollars that would be better spent on educating the students instead of this controversy.
Community and board meetings have been ongoing, and a 5-person committee will make their recommendation in the coming weeks, which will likely involve a compromise and change.
I've heard more from Arab Americans who say don't make a change, and then I've heard from some who say please make the change. And so in the end, I think everybody, though, has been open to having a discussion and say consider it.
Separated by 1,200 miles of road, but perhaps tens of thousands of miles of history, is Robstown, Texas, a rural farming community about 20 minutes from Corpus Christi. Robstown High School is the home of the Cotton Pickers. Cotton Pickers conjures up images of the brutal forced labor of slaves in the South leading to the Civil War. In Robstown, the majority view is one that we might not have even considered until we visited there. What do you think of your team mascot, the Cotton Pickers?
What did I think about him? I think it's a super name. Actually, Robstown, about 5 years ago, ran a survey in the community asking the members of the community through the local newspaper they wanted to change their name. And it was like 99% that did not want to change the mascot name. It's named after the cotton picking of the area, and I think everybody's quite proud of it.
Another prominent attendee of Robstown High is former Congressman Solomon Ortiz. He still lives in nearby Corpus Christi.
You attended Robstown High School.
Yes, sir.
What do you think and now, and what did you think then of the nickname the Cotton Pickers?
Well, I am proud that I was a real cotton picker, and then when I went to high school, I was also a cotton picker. I think It's a good name. It represents or identifies some of the hardworking people in South Texas.
What if a segment of the African American community said that they heard about this team in Robstown, Texas, calling themselves the Cotton Pickers? And man, that offends us because our ancestors were brought over here as slaves and put to work in the cotton fields. Should they be given some quarter to air that grievance?
I can understand where they're coming from, but people my age are proud to be cotton pickers for many reasons. They were honest people, they were hard workers, they paid their bills, they paid their taxes, and they took care of their families.
If you heard that there was a team that used, I wouldn't say an epithet, I don't know the cotton